Perfect. Alright guys, it's go time. Let's jump in this thing and ride, shall we? What's up guys, welcome back to Minecraft 1.12. It's Halloween. I've changed into a dog. Things are getting crazy and I have finally finished this spook house ride and I cannot wait to show you guys this thing. It is awesome. Guys, I have put a lot of work into this thing and it is really turned out great. And I can't wait to show you guys. We're going to ride through this thing today and give you guys a first-hand look at it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a command to turn on the thunder and the lightning, and of course I'm going to make sure that it's completely nighttime, and we're going to have some fun with this thing. After we ride through, then I'm going to show you how I built it, how I put everything together, and this is going to be fun. So let's get right into it, shall we? But before we do anything, I want to show you guys what I have done here to this witch hut. You remember we found this witch hut back a few episodes ago. I don't remember exactly which episode it was. I don't remember which exact episode it was that we found this witch hut. But I have converted the witch hut into our ticket booth. Haunted house ride, $5, ride at your own risk. This is our ticket booth. Of course, I've made use of a lot of nether brick, our nether brick fence posts there, and our nether brick stairs, and I've added a lot of cobwebs here and there to make it look a little more spooky. Of course, we have our Halloween jack-o'-lantern and our minecart and minecart rail that leads all the way over to the spook house. And if you can see right through the trees right there, just a little bit of a peek, there we go. That is our spook house. I'm not going to give you a full view of it just yet, not until we get over there. So I think that about wraps up the introduction here, and I think all we have left to do now is to turn this place into a dark, thundering and lightning spooky swamp to kind of set the mood. So let's get spooked. Alright guys, we are at nighttime. We have thunder and lightning and rain. Perfect. Alright guys, it's go time. Let's jump in this thing and ride, shall we? Here we go. dead end. So what do you guys think? That is pretty creepy, huh? I tell you what, let's do it one more time, and this time without the rain and thunder, just to get a different kind of effect, shall we? Okay, we are now at dusk. Sun's going down. The rain has stopped. The full moon is coming up. Let's jump into the mind cards. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. All right, guys, let's turn the lights on and I will show you how I put this thing together. This has got to be one of my favorite builds that I've ever done. Not the biggest build, but one of my favorites because of what it does. So let me use the command to turn the lights on, and we'll show you how this works. Okay, so it is daytime now. Let's get over here and take a look at it, shall we? Of course, you can see the rails. I have all the rails down, and I've used a few powered rails. I guess strategically placed powered rails. I didn't want the cart to move too fast. I found that I added a lot more powered rails to begin with, and I found that the more powered rails you use, the faster it goes, of course, and the faster it goes, the more you speed through this thing, and I did not want that to happen. So I started taking powered rails away from the track, and it's helped to slow this thing down so you get the full effect when you go into the room. This powered rail right here, I'm thinking about removing it because I still move through this room right here a little too quickly. But let's get in here and I'll show you the way this is built. Of course, I made use of the track and the space in the room to give as much time as possible in the room to look around as you're riding through. I've used paintings, and I've used instead of regular torches, redstone torches, because of course they don't put out as much light. Let's get up here and I'll show you this up here. Now the theme I have here is okay. The theme I have here is you have this old spooky house that's probably got a lot of dark magic flowing through it, and what you have here is the Nether breaking in from the underworld and taking over this house, which has caused a lot of I don't know, spookiness to happen inside. And of course the Nether has kind of creeped in through this hole in the wall here, and is creeping under the floor and is taking over the stairs and moving up into the upper rooms here. And of course you have creeper and zombie heads everywhere, and of course our cobwebs, which is a the cobwebs was a suggestion by Steam Bun Gaming. Thank you for the suggestion, SBG. I appreciate that, and it worked out really well. Of course, we move through this room here, which you can see the Nether's taking over this room here, and then moving up into the ceiling there. And then you go out. We have a tree growing up through this hole in the floor here, and then you go out onto the balcony here, and move along the balcony into this room. Now this room right here, this really made me laugh when I put this together, because of course you have the creeper head on the armor stand with the armor. That works out really well, because when you ride into here, of course the door opens and there's the creeper standing there. I don't know if you guys were spooked by that or not. Probably not, but I think that's a pretty cool little ad there. And then you walk into this dark, well, not walking, you ride into this dark room here with one painting, and of course you have heads in the corner there with a little blood on the floor. Just a little bit of a spooky dark room here. Not much going on. And then you go down this spooky dark hallway with that painting right there at the end. I think that really set off this hallway really well with the cobwebs and that painting there at the end. And you get closer to it, and all of a sudden you take a sharp left turn into this room here with the paintings and the torches and the cobwebs and of course the heads on the floor. I thought that all worked really well together. And then you go up, have a powered rail here that kind of pushes you up this incline, and then onto the top floor balcony. And then you turn the corner here and get pushed up into this. And this is where we find the Nether has really taken hold into the top floor here. And of course you have, you know, Mr. Spookiness right up there, whatever you want to call it. And then I have the minecart rails going back and forth so that you can get, you know, a really good view of this room as you're riding through, and try not to get burned. And then you end up over here, and you have our altar of fire there with torches, and of course a really good view of the flaming skull up there. And then this moves you on up behind the skull onto the platform here, and you ride around behind the skull, and then you think you're going to drop back down into this room here, but you don't. You drop down into another dark hallway which rushes you through around a corner there and then to the outside. And then you drop a really sharp drop here, and at this point you're going pretty fast, as you guys saw in the ride through. You're going pretty fast, and at this point you can get a really good view of the front of the house here where I have another skull, which is a black skull with red eyes. And then we go into the front of the house, which is only one room that you go into, but you can see how the nether has knocked a hole in the floor here, and that's a pretty long drop right there. Believe me, I've fallen in and almost died while building this thing. But of course we have our, whoa, almost did it again. We have our nether portal windows here. Kind of gives a nod to the black magic of this place. Then you drop down into this nether hole here, and kind of looks like you're dropping into the bowels of hell here. Just everything's on fire, everything's made out of netherrack and black obsidian, and just, you know, lots of nastiness. And of course everything is just dropping down into a deep hole here. And we ride down all the way to the bottom of this place. This part right here gets pretty fast, and it kind of zooms by a little bit, but in places like this where you don't have any powered rails or any sharp drops, it slows down where you can kind of get a little bit of a view of what's going on. And then all of a sudden you drop down into the fire. I'm gonna get burned right here, and then you're in blackness. But never fear, because you are on your way back up out of the grave, out of this nether hole here, all the way back to the surface. Of course, all these powered rails here will push you all the way back up until you get to the surface. And once you get to the surface, you speed around and you're heading towards a dead end, and there it is, the dead end. And it all just ties together. I think this is one of my favorite builds that I've ever done. Of course, like I said earlier, it's not my biggest build I've ever done, and not even my most detailed build I've ever done, but for what it does, I've had a lot of fun with this thing, putting it together, and of course after finishing it, riding through. And this has been a whole lot of fun, and I look forward to doing something else like this in the future. Who knows what else I'll come up with, but yeah, this is great. So guys, I really appreciate your support that you've given me on this channel. I appreciate all your likes and all your comments, and I hope you've had a lot of fun with this ride through. I hope you've had as much fun with the ride through as I have with building it and showing it to you. But until next time, you guys be safe, have a happy Halloween, get lots of candy, have lots of fun, and I will see you in November. Bye.